Tom Roth once said, "Sleep is an investment in the energy you need to be effective tomorrow." Sleep is said to be as necessary as the water we drink, the air we breathe, the food we eat, to function every single day, and live life to the best of your ability. Today I will be explaining to you the importance of getting enough sleep for reasons such as learning and memory, metabolism and weight, self-safety, mood, cardiovascular health, and disease. I took interest in this most recently since I do not get the appropriate amount of sleep every single night that I should due to living the college life. As college has been as stressful as it gets, I continue to think about the benefits that I'll be getting from higher education, but also on the harmful aspects of not getting enough sleep. Sleep plays a vibrant role in good health and well-being throughout your lifetime. Getting enough sleep at the right times can help protect your mental health, physical health, your quality of life, and your safety. The most importance of sleep is explained in 6 ways. Sleep helps with learning and improving your memory. Sleep helps improve your learning because when you are sleep deprived, you tend to not focus or pay attention. With the right amount of sleep, you still have no problem being awake and ready to learn during class. Sleep also helps the consolidation of memory, which is vital for learning new and valuable information. Learning, memory, and sleep all come together in the same phenomenon due to 3 basic functions that all happen during learning and memory. Acquisition is the introduction of new information that is entering the brain. Consolidation is the process of a memory becoming stable in the brain, and recalling is referring to the capability to assess the stored information in your brain. Consolidation is the most crucial aspect of memory and learning related to sleep. When you are sleeping, memory consolidation takes place due to the neural connections that allow memories to be stored into your brain. Sleeping also takes a part in metabolism and weight. Longer periods of deep sleep are known to be found in physically active people and in people who have an overactive thyroid gland, resulting in a faster metabolism. On the other hand, people who enjoy fewer hours of sleep tend to have the underactive thyroid and slower metabolism. Lack of sleep seems to cause variations in metabolic activity. Changes in metabolic activity include the levels of cortisol in the blood. Cortisol is the hormone tangled in response to stress. Dieters who sleep more lose more fat, while those who are sleep deprived lose muscle mass instead of fat. Sleep and metabolism are both controlled by the same sectors of the brain. Therefore, when you are fatigued, specific hormones increase your blood, causing your appetite to increase. Sleep also increases your self-safety as well as others around you. Raise your hand if you have ever stayed up super late one night, hanging out with your friends, and had to get up super early the next morning to drive back home. By doing this, you are putting yourself in danger and anyone and everyone that is on the streets around you. By losing sleep at night, you are causing a risk of falling asleep during the day that could cause medical errors, including car accidents. According to healthysleep.med.harvard.edu, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that 100,000 police-reported crashes are the direct result of driver fatigue each year. When you are tired, your mental performance is not 100%, allowing you to possibly cause accidents that could be avoided. Sleep also has a huge effect on your mood. When you wake up to start a new day, waking up the next morning only running on a few hours of sleep can cause you to be very irritable, short-tempered, and susceptible to stress. Not only does sleep affect the mood can also affect your sleep. Anxiety increases arousal, causing it to be harder to sleep. Stress also causes the body to become more awake due to the constant thinking, not allowing the brain to go to sleep. Along with sleep deprivation causing mood changes, it also has everything to do with someone who may be depressed or become depressed. Your body is more susceptible to emotions with more sleep than is when you are sleep deprived. Sleep also helps cope and maintain cardiovascular health. Sleep-deprived people are at a higher risk for heart disease. Heart disease is increased in people who do not get enough sleep at night due to chemicals released that keep your body from sleeping, causing blood pressure and heart rate to slow. Slowing of the heart rate and blood pressure at night causes high blood pressure during the day. A lack of sleep can also result in inflammation, which is also related to heart disease and numerous other medical conditions. People who get 6 or less hours of sleep at night have higher blood levels of inflammatory proteins than those who sleep 6 or more hours a night. Shortened sleep can increase the production of CRP, which is a C-reactive protein, causing stress and inflammation. As well as a lack of sleep causing a higher risk for heart disease, a lack of sleep can also increase insulin resistance within the body. Insulin resistance is the start of development of type 2 diabetes. I will now inform you on some sleep disorders. On sleepfoundation.org, I found that insomnia is the most common sleep disorder. Insomnia is resulting in having problems falling asleep, staying asleep throughout the entire night, and waking up too early in the morning. 30 to 35% of adults complain of insomnia. Negative effects of insomnia include poor work performance, impairments in decision making, and damage to relationships and friendships. Two types of insomnia are short-term insomnia, which is a brief insomnia that lasts up to 3 months, or chronic insomnia, which occurs at least 3 times a week, lasting for at least 3 months. On nhlbi.nih.gov, I found that sleep apnea is another sleep disorder. Sleep apnea is a common disorder where you have one or more pauses in your breathing while you're sleeping due to an obstruction of the airway. These pauses in the breathing during sleep can last from anywhere from 30 seconds to a couple minutes. They can also occur 30 times or more during an hour. Most people do not realize they have sleep apnea due to it occurring while they're sleeping. Two types of sleep apnea are obstructive sleep apnea. This is when the airway collapses or is blocked during sleep. It is more common in people who are overweight or people who have issues with their tonsils and sinuses. So now I'm going to show you the video of a guy that's sleeping and he has sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea is a common disorder in which there are one or more pauses in breathing or shallow breaths during sleep. Normally, without sleep apnea, your airway remains open. Your airway consists of your nose, mouth, throat, and windpipe. This allows the flow of air and oxygen into your lungs when you inhale, and the flow of carbon dioxide out of your lungs when you exhale. Obstructive sleep apnea can be mild to severe. Your airway may narrow or close completely. When the airway collapses a little bit, the airway becomes partly blocked. This makes it harder for air to pass into your lungs when you inhale. Any air that squeezes through the blockage may cause snoring. At times, the airway may become completely blocked where there is no airflow. This is called apnea. With little or no air flowing to the lungs, there is a decrease in blood oxygen levels. This signals your brain to disrupt your sleep, which helps you open the airway. Sometimes, obstructed breathing ends with a gasp.
That's usually how people know that they have sleep apnea, is because when they
The
gasp,
normal
it wakes
breathing
them up.
cycle continues until the next episode of obstruction. Episodes may last seconds to minutes and recur 1 to 100 times per hour.
Another type of sleep apnea is essential sleep apnea. This is when the brain that controls your breathing does not send the right signals to your breathing muscles, so it causes your body not to breathe for short periods of time. It can be more common in people who have certain medical conditions and they use specific medications that cause the muscles and the brain not to be on the same track. The risks of sleep apnea are increased sympathetic nerve activity, increased cardiovascular events, increased risk of hypertension, increased risk of stroke, and of course, increased risk of death. Treatments are the continuous positive airway pressure, so it's the CPAP mask. It's basically a mask that is connected to a machine that you put on every single night before you go to bed, and it's constant air blowing in your face, so you're constantly breathing even if you stop breathing due to the sleep apnea. Now I'm going to try and give you some tips on better sleep. You should set a steady sleep schedule, so you should go to bed and get up at approximately the same time every single day. So with a steady sleep schedule, it's reinforcing your body's sleep and awake cycle, so it's constantly remembering how you're going to wake up and what times and stuff you're doing everything. You should pay attention to what you eat and drink before you go to bed, so you shouldn't go to bed too early or too hungry or too full. You should limit how much you drink before bed so you're not constantly up going to the bathroom. Limit alcohol and nicotine and caffeine use before bed because you don't want to sugar rush or anything before you're going to bed. You should create a bedtime ritual, so you should do the same things every single night right before your bedtime to tell your body you're going to bed. So, for example, you could take a shower or a hot bath and then listen to music. You should not watch TV or use your electronics before you go to bed because it's still stimulating the brain that you want to stay awake. You should get comfortable, so you should make sure you wash your sheets often, get new pillows regularly, and obviously make sure that you have a comfortable mattress that's suitable for how you sleep. You should eliminate daily naps. If you must take a nap during the day, you should make sure that your max of time for your nap is 10 to 30 minutes only once a day. Include physical activity to your everyday schedule. So obviously when you're doing something active, it's promoting better sleep because you're exhausted. You should never exercise too close to bedtime though, because it can cause your body to become more energized than it is to stop your energy. And then you should manage your stress. So if you're too overwhelmed and you have a lot going on, you should consider writing it down on a piece of paper so that way you're getting it out of your mind, and then in the morning you can come back to it. Now let's recap what we had talked about today. As you have learned about the amount of sleep we get every single night, that has a direct impact and effect on your bodies. Today we learned the 6 important reasons to get good sleep. You were informed on sleep disorders, and you also learned about some tips to overcome those sleepless nights. Now that you are all probably asleep from listening to me talk, make sure to sleep well tonight and don't think too much about the physical and mental harm you are doing to yourself by staying awake. Thank you. Is there any questions? What's up, Kristen?
So you're saying if you sleep not enough or too much, it makes you depressed?
In a way, yes. If you're not getting enough sleep and you're constantly thinking of things, you're obviously going to become depressed. And if you're sleeping too much, you can cause yourself to basically be in like a sleep coma where you're just constantly tired and down. Because you're not getting the social interaction with people if you're constantly sleeping.
So how much is too much?
Sleeping numerous days in a row would be way too much.
Okay, but you sleep every day.
Well, you need to sleep every single day, but every night, I guess.
Okay, thank you.